Hi there, I'm Shane, and today I want to build a simple game using ChatGPT-4o with Canvas. The game I chose to try to make today is an 80s game that was in the movie War Games called Global Thermonuclear War. It's actually not a real game. People have remade it, I think, a few times. But it's basically using 80s retro graphics with a globe simulator where you can launch nuclear missiles from different major superpowers. And basically there's like a casualty counter and some other interesting things that make it seem like you're simulating a nuclear war. So I'm going to use ChatGPT 4o with Canvas, which is a new feature that came out. Canvas allows you to edit code files directly inside of ChatGPT. So when you have ChatGPT Pro, you can select the ChatGPT or GPT-4o with Canvas model, which is currently in beta. And what I did is I went ahead and created a prompt to kind of outline what the game should do. And I put that into ChatGPT down here in the chat prompts, saying create an HTML5 and JavaScript game based on the movie War Games called Global Thermonuclear War in a minimalist retro style like from the movie. The main screen should show a map of the globe with countries, and there should be missile launch animations from different countries like in the movie. There should be a map display, a missile launch animation, game controls, turn-based gameplay, casualty counter, end game conditions, and then the visual style of the game should mimic the look and feel of early 80s computer systems with a simple font and blinking cursor for interactions. The sound effects should be minimalistic, such as beeping for selections and launching missiles. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click go on this prompt, and we'll watch the canvas in action. So you can see it actually just spun up a canvas. It looks a lot like Visual Studio Code, honestly, in dark mode. On the left-hand side, you can see the chat window is still there. And it kind of looks like it generated all the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript all in one file. So over here on the right-hand side, you can see these options, code review, port to a language. So let's say you don't really want to do JavaScript, you could change it to TypeScript or Java or Python or some other language, right? We're going to keep it actually current and just leave it the way it is because it's supposed to be a JavaScript game in the first place. There's a bug fixing tool, a log entry tool, and then also this option here to add comments basically in this. And so I'm going to start actually by just grabbing my code, and I'm going to put it in to an IDE. I created a folder for this, so we'll just call this index.html because I'm pretty sure that's all we need here. And I'll just drop this code into here. All right. And one thing we could do is try to test it out. I mean, honestly, we did this in one shot. I wonder what it looks like. So let's spin up a browser and see what it does just out of the box, because it's possible. Oh my goodness, it already does something cool. All right, well, it has some of the features already in place. It has dots for the different superpowers, a map, but there's no outline of the countries, and a way to launch. It looks like to launch from, and a launch target, and then a button to click the launch. So since I'm an American, I think I will just do the right thing and change this so that it doesn't appear that I'm attacking any other country on purpose, and just let the game attack my country. So let's see what happens if I click launch missile. Actually, that's kind of cool. So it generated a line that fired off basically a missile trajectory that did some sort of seeking thing and then eventually found its target. So let's say if we were to try again, it popped up a thing that says casualties 1,436,868. So let's try, oh, we retaliated. I don't know why it did it that way, because all I did was I tried to select a drop down, so it's clearly there's a bug. But it actually kind of works right out of the box. So that's really cool. Now we'll go back into ChatGPT and we can start to do some things. We could say, this is really cool, but there is no map, but there is no outline map of each of the nations. Okay, we'll just say that and see what happens. So it responds to incorporate the outline map for each of the nations. I can add a simple visual representation. Would you like me to proceed? Yes, please, I'll just say. And now you can see it's editing the code line by line and going through all of it and making an outline. You can see it actually did it right there. It set the country configuration. It's probably not going to be that sophisticated. It actually looks like a it's probably going to generate a rectangle or something. And there we go. So let's take it and go back over into the HTML editor. And because this is really just a demo, I'm going to do copy and paste. And then we will go back into the browser and reload the app. Yeah, you can see the outlines do not represent an image of those countries. So, while it still shows, an outline, it doesn't show an accurate outline. So let's hop back in here and just say, this is great, but the outline is just a polygon, simple polygon that does not represent what those countries' borders look like. You can see I actually misspelled some words in the prompt. So when you're engineering with these things, honestly, you don't have to spell correctly. I mean, it probably helps if you do. So it says it can update the better visuals. It will evolve using even more detailed path coordinates or even using a simplified GeoJSON for the map. I could also use a library like D3JS to help render these borders. Would you like me to incorporate D3JS? So we'll just say yes, please. And hopefully it's not too complicated here. Most likely I'm gonna have to reference d3.js, but hey, good, it has a CDN, it looks like. So it's going through, editing the code again, and it says it's updated the code. All right, so let's take a look. All right, we did the code update, and now we go back into the browser. Reload. Well, now the map is just showing up all in the left hand side of the screen and doesn't quite look right. So let's go back into ChatGPT and say, that's really great, but the generated map is small and is found in the top right hand corner of the screen. Can you please expand it to fill the screen with accurate locations for the nation states? Okay, let's go correct some of my spell. Oh my goodness. My spelling is really, really bad. So, oh, come on. So I'm a little clunky with my mouse today. Come on. Come on, spell check. Let's just fix this stuff real quick so that the AI doesn't think I'm dumb. All right, then we run it again. So this back and forth interaction with GPT-4o and Canvas is what it's meant for, right? So this allows you to interact with code files interactively and change them on the fly and ask the LLM to make those changes iteratively rather than just a one shot. Because usually, you know, as you saw, the first shot of the application actually worked, but it didn't quite work right, and now we're just iterating on the solution to try to get something a little closer to cool looking. Okay, well, that's a little better. The scale looks wonky, but the dots are in the right place, and the map looks like a global map. I'm not sure what's up with Antarctica being giant like that. Maybe it's actually really that giant. So then we do a missile launch, and it does a interesting thing right there. And it says impact casualties 519075. I am so sorry, Soviet Union. Oh, wow. Whoa. So then it moves to step 2, where the counter player launches their retaliation. And they're definitely taking us out. All right, so we're going to launch another missile and try again. You see the map kind of went away, but then it came back. Oh, USSR decides to attack China. Oh my goodness. All right, so we try again. We launch one more missile. It's interesting how the map disappears when we do this. Impact casualties 4,789,000. So you can see here that over time we're able to slowly get the game a little bit closer to workable state. Now I'll just have to say that worked really well, except that the scale was a little too big, too large. Can you please reduce it to the size of the canvas? Now, I don't mean the canvas in ChatGPT when I'm saying this. I mean the canvas in HTML5. So I don't want ChatGPT to be confused by that, so I'll just say the HTML5 canvas. Let's take a look at how big it actually is. Canvas. Oh, it's set to 100% of the screen. So how about we not do it that well? I see. Also, maybe the canvas is set too large, to be too large. It basically is making 100% of the width and 100% of the height, not leaving space for the command bar down at the bottom. All right, let's see what happens here. Now it's going line by line back through, and you can see now it sets a specific width and height for the canvas. And still going through, doing this little mapping fun stuff. Draw the country borders using the GeoJSON data. That's pretty cool. I just learned about GeoJSON data. Looks like there's an API to generate maps. All right, we're gonna grab that, put it into the editor. Then we will go back into the browser and we'll try again and see what happens. Now look at that. That actually looks pretty good. Okay, so let's launch. When the launch happens, the map disappears. Retaliation. Oh, they're hitting China. Boom. Poor China. Then we're going to try again. I'm sorry, Russia. Impact casualties, 3,123,000. They're going to retaliate, I'm sure. Boom. Retaliation. Attack. 3,954,000. So now you can see how we can quickly make a pretty interesting game using just ChatGPT 4o with Canvas. I'm not going to take this too much further from here because, as you can tell, it's just a lot of back and forth and dialing it in until you get the game to be the way you want it to be. But from here, you can make it do all kinds of things. What I would do next is say, hey, make the color of the map always be green and the missile trajectory always be red. And when it's launching, do not take away the map. Leave the map on the screen. Things like that. If you just keep going back and forth in the ChatGPT 4 with Canvas window, you can refine your code and get it to the point to where you want it to be. One other thing I would want to point out here is, hey, you don't just have to copy and paste this code, which, by the way, was a lot easier than using the chat interface with code, because you could just select all and hit copy, or you could hit this little copy button over here. But you can also directly edit in this code to add things along the way. So we'll just make a comment, draw a map, So you can add code directly in to ChatGPT and it will remember that code for you. That was a really cool example. I'm sorry I didn't build the game all the way out, but I really just wanted to demonstrate this for everybody. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you have fun building things with ChatGPT 4o and O1 Preview. Have a great day. Bye.